Are you drawing the same thing yet again? No matter how much you like the subject, you still want to do something different and get creatively unstuck. Keep the subject matter, but change the product. Instead of a straight-up drawing of a plant, look at a book cover, poster, or ad that has a plant subject. In this case, I have Wilderness Survival Guide by Monty Alford with illustrations by Monty Alford and Barbara Deer. It has a simple grid layout for its cover. Chapter 7 on food has 10 illustrations of common edible plants found in the Yukon Territory that I can draw as a new botanical grid cover. For this book cover exercise, I'm not concerned about perfectly mimicking the original artwork. To make everything fit on a page, these need to be small sketches. And as an exercise in doing something different, it makes sense to keep things loose. Just watch and I'll make many mistakes. But I get it done and I feel freer in choosing my next project afterward. Since this is a book about surviving in the Yukon wilderness, the edible plants drawn are mostly low-lying shrubs with leathery dark green leaves and red to black berries. The others include a pine tree, the highly adaptive species called the plantain, and seasonal pond and marsh plants. Sometimes the arrangement of the plant, the dimension of the original image, and the rectangles I drew don't make a drawing easy. So with this fireweed, I drew a few rungs of leaves and flowers, but not all of them. I'm guilty of looking back and forth between the book and the sketchbook too fast to keep track of which triangle I'm drawing in. But rather than redo the bearberry sketch, I let it reside where it chose. Fine, be that way. The way I did the book's title and the chapter's subtitle with the boxes, I needed to use more squares than plants. The pond lily is just a tuber with a long stem and then a leaf and a flower on top, so it lent itself well to being vertically divided behind the chapter's subtitle. Plantain leaves are refreshingly broad and simple. The flower spikes were one step more than just 3 or 4 arches per row. They have a tongue sticking out as well, probably the pistil or the anthers, which are the reproductive parts. Pine cones are notorious subjects for beginner art books and classes. They leave so much room to learn accurate shapes, shading, and the patience to watch something that looks like a mess become something that looks kind of good. For this lodgepole pine sketch, I had a different lesson. I had to rely on a few basic shapes, dark triangles, and white triangular or trapezoidal extensions. Even the bark and the pollen cones just needed jagged lines and circle clusters, respectively. Strawberry blight has interesting arrowhead-shaped leaves and puffy flower clusters. It allowed for more texture detail than the other plant's leaves and stems, and in a layout that had some character. The rose needed to be compressed as it was difficult to fit into the square. It also had more going on with the leaves pointing in different directions, requiring more care for the shapes and shadows.